Agent 3540 as I live and breathe. How you doing? Well, happy Saturday. We're going to get started right about now. And play some Tekken. Oh, yeah. And hey, everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Super Pac. Happy Saturday. Already nearly halfway through the month of September already. Holy cow. Agent 3540. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, buddy? We used to work together. Or something like that back in the day. And today we're going to be playing some Tekken. I'll be talking about the Namco series of Tekken, and specifically the first 3 games, and a little bit of tag tournament perhaps, and a cousin of the game, Soul Edge, or Soul Blade, depending on how you look at it. We've been looking at all that in the next 2 hours. And today has just been absolutely wonderful. Later on today, we're going to get my wife, London Lass. As you know, she's had a bit of a mishap. That kind of started last May, not this most recent one. And she's finally been outside, and we're going to go and go for a car ride today. It's something she's been looking for quite some time, something I've been looking for quite some time as well, and she's going to be one of my passengers today. So, hey, going to be looking forward to that. But before we get started with anything, we got some ads to run, because, you know, we got some bills to pay, and things and junk and things and things and things. I mentioned things. Oh, I did. Good. All right. So we're going to be taking this pause out of our lives here, and we'll be right back in just 2 minutes, so don't you go away. Thank you. Appreciate it. All righty. Well, goodness. I don't know if you can still hear me, Agent 3540. I'll just call you Agent for short. That's what we used to hear on the phones a lot.
Hello, Agent?
Yeah.
Agent Pac-Man?
That's me.
Can I help you?
Good old days. Yeah, I was referred to as GE Pac-Man for a long time. It was kind of fun. As I hydrate. We talk about my memories of Tekken as well. This was a unique thing for the arcade versus the console, where they were kind of more one and the same. They were starting to merge into that little pattern. We'll be talking about that as well. As well as what a response it got and who made it, which is pretty important as well. It does have a fine history. And we're almost through this. I don't want to say too much through the ads, because you may not be able to hear me when we're doing it live, because I do have a few viewers here. But as far as the VOD, Like I said, I was in retail back in those days. I was working for a company called the Electronics Boutique, which became EB Games, and it kind of moved on as I moved on with it. So, okay, we're almost done, and the ads are done. Welcome back, community. 'Tis I. Alrighty, so we're talking about the game Tekken. And this was a unique time as far as the home console versus the arcade game. Now, if you've seen the arcade game, it's made from Namco on a System 11 board. And System 11 was basically a PlayStation without an optical drive. In fact, it was actually based on Sony's PlayStation hardware. So having said that, so when you take the game and you just put the programming on the disc, pop the disc into your PlayStation, you should see a near translation of perfection. And that's kind of what we got. It came out just shortly after the launch of the PlayStation in North America in October of 1995. The game came out in 1994 in the arcades, so they had a bit of time to kind of get things together, and they did a fantastic job. Now, the game was designed by Asichi Ishii, who himself was actually part of the Virtua Fighter team before he left Sega and joined Namco, and hence why Namco was able to kind of establish that particular fighting game presence with a rather different control as opposed to the punch kick guard that Virtua Fighter had. Well, we had something else here. So, and let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So let's go ahead and head over to said console. Where the hell are you, console? There you are, console. That's the wrong one. We'll go to the new console. How about that? There you go. TV time. Big TV time. All right. Should unmute this too, shouldn't I? There you are. So like I said, it was built on the same hardware practically. The System 11 hardware was essentially a PlayStation. And so it was actually affordable to build this game. Unlike the Sega had the, by this time, Model 1 and Model 2 arcade boards, and they were rather expensive. But this was much more affordable. Remember, the PlayStation initially came out at $300 for you, the consumer, much less anyone else, like, you know, the purchaser of an arcade. Let's go ahead and get started. And let me see. The right buttons here. Okay, so let's take a look at Tekken. I have versus arcade mode. I have a 2-player. I only have the one controller, but I also have the dreaded test mode. Let's take a look at what that does. Okay, I have an options mode. Oh boy. The difficulty medium, easy. Fight count 2, that's fine. Round time is 40 seconds, fine. For whatever reason, yeah, they still had mono TV, so yeah, that makes sense. BGM select is arrangement. 2-player wins shown by fruit as opposed to number. And character change that continue? No, didn't do that. And then you have your key configuration, and to enter that, you press start. You see push buttons with all the PlayStation goodness there. All right. So let's get out now. And of course, your record. I don't have a memory card put in here because this is just for today's exhibition. That's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and exit. Go into the arcade mode. Yeah. Okay, so here are your characters. You have Yoshimitsu, Nina, Law, Kazuya, Paul, Jack, King, and Michelle. So we're going to do the unthinkable, and we're going to choose Paul. Because why the heck not? Now, the big difference between this and the arcade game was simply the loading times between the rounds and such. Ah. Wow. It's been like forever and a half since I played this. And as you know, I suck at fighting games. So I'm going to have a good time and embarrassing the hell out of myself. You're going to see you lose a lot, I'm afraid. But we just had to have this game. Now remember, there was already a fighting game available for the PlayStation when it came out. That would be, well, actually 2 of them. That would be Battle Arena Toshinden, that was a launch title, and Mortal Kombat 3. And again, Mortal Kombat 3 was near perfect to the arcade, and well, Toshinden, that was just something we have never seen before. That was actually produced by Sony itself. So Namco was just now establishing its presence here in North America. And they started putting out their own NES games, SNES games, Sega games even. Sega Genesis, I should say. And finally, they kind of really made their mark known with the Sony PlayStation. And why not? Again, they're now using Sony's hardware for the arcade games. And the first fun example of this was, of course, Tekken. And when you just think about this game is 30 years old this year as far as arcade presence is concerned. Let's just think next year, kiddos, the PlayStation will turn 30 as well. Well, actually, one around. Woohoo! You win. Yeah! That won't last long. We'll go through the characters. Round one. I'm against Jack. Oh, I can actually change my view. I forgot about that. That's right. Neat little feature. You know, they took full advantage of a 3D fighting platform, if you will. Knew that was going to happen. So you can actually change your angle so you can actually see it like more of a top-down perspective versus a side perspective. Because they wanted to make you aware that, again, this is a 3D game. There you go. Yeah. And forget that Jack's a robot. That didn't last long.
You lose.
I lose. Should I continue? Oh, noes. Okay, so much for Paul. Hey, Paul's 100% played. That's right. And he even keeps track of who gets played. And that was pretty cool in the arcade game because you can see, okay, who gets played the most. Oh, I love the arcade intro here. You didn't see this too often. This was an MPEG that was actually put onto the arcade board itself. It just took a bit of room, a bit of an EEPROM for this. Actually, no, this is for the PlayStation itself. Excuse me, I'm thinking the other one. The other one's very brief in comparison. But it gives you a good idea of what the characters are about. And this actually did have something of a storyline. And to this day, with Tekken 8, the storyline continues. It is the same storyline as we were watching back in 1995 for the PlayStation version. I believe that is a world record now. Okay, so let's go ahead and play a different character. We'll just go in order this time. Oh, Yoshimitsu. How could we not forget you? He looked a lot different. Now, he actually went into the Soul Edge side of things as well.
Round one.
But he did start in Tekken. Okay, that was pretty good. And, you know, as primitive as the graphics look now, this was pretty much the thing. Remember, affordable 3D engines were not quite there yet. This would be one of the first examples of such. Yeah. There you go. I did like playing Yoshimitsu, I have to admit. And he was actually perfect for Soul Edge. Now, in the North American market, we call it Soul Blade for the PlayStation. I'm not sure why they had to change the name per se, because my promotional material that I actually have, I have a big, gigantic foam poster of Soul Edge for the PlayStation for the North American release. Now, why they changed it in the last second, I haven't the foggiest. But whatever, we still got the game. And of course, the more popular Soul Calibur and its series would be a thing as well. Like I said, we'll take a look at the first one towards the end of the stream. In our second hour. Yeah!
Round two.
Now, for this particular exhibition, we're going to be looking at Tekken, of course, for PlayStation, which we're looking at right now. We're going to be looking at Tekken 2, also for PlayStation. And then Tekken 3, I can't find my my game for whatever reason. It has disappeared on me. You know, when you have over 1,500 video games, well, it's going to happen from time to time. But, having said that, We'll be looking at the arcade version significantly because also it's not using a System 11 board, it's using a System 12 board. And they did a remarkable conversion, literally a port, to the PlayStation. It's not the same hardware. What's the difference between System 11 and 12? System 12 just had a stronger CPU and just a bit more memory. So therefore, you got a higher polygon count. Because the backgrounds here are just more or less pictures. They just happen to rotate and all that kind of stuff with the never-ending floor that you see that they're on right now. Nice. Ah! There you go. So when I saw this in the arcade for the first time back in '94, I was just like, wow, because Virtua Fighter 2 hadn't come out yet. That would be a little bit later. So I'm thinking, wow, the difference between this and Virtua Fighter, the first one, Virtua Fighter had a cleaner resolution, had a higher resolution than this. This is 480. But having said that, one of the reasons why I stream in 480 because none of the games I play are any higher than that kind of resolution. Remember, they're old games. Having said that, though, actual texture on the polygons. And it kind of made a way for things to come. So the two 3D fighting makers, that would be Sega, of course, and Namco, and what we're seeing right now, were just simply defining everything. Remember, Mortal Kombat will not get its 3D fighter until Mortal Kombat 4, which came out quite a bit later. Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Round one.
Memories are flooding back like crazy now. And this game was a big seller. It did very, very well on the PlayStation. I was very happy to display it in my store too. Yeah, do something else, Yoshi. Let's see. What here? There you go. Ah! Damn it. What also got me was the music. The music was actually pretty damn good on this game. By this time, I started collecting soundtracks. There was a catalog type thing, Funko Land, which as you see in the back of game magazines and comic books and stuff like that. And they sell soundtracks, and that's where I got my first taste of buying video game soundtracks. And I had to have Tekken, I had to have Soul Edge. Soul Edge is one of my absolute favorite too, along with Chrono Trigger. Final round. Watch me lose. Ah, trying to grab. Ah! Oh my goodness, you got me. There you go.
You lose.
I lose. I deserve that. Nah, yeah. See if we can get the other motion picture track mode. Okay, so now it's split between Paul and Yoshimitsu, 50 each %. The character I liked playing the least was Jack. There it is. This is the arcade open. Again, this is one of the first times you actually saw a motion picture in the arcade game. Because this took a lot of memory, believe it or not. Now we take this kind of crap for granted. It's just built into the programming. But they didn't do that yet. Yeah. Tekken. Okay. Play Nina this time. Of course, they each had their signature moves. They each had their fighting styles.
Round one.
I'm playing against Yoshimitsu. Now, I used to hang out in an arcade, and I mentioned this many times already. A place called Grand Prix Racerama. It was out in Fort Lauderdale, then later in Dania. There you go. Ah, missed. There you go. And they had a whole bunch of these. And what they do with a brand new game, they would pretty much put them out front, prominent place, and they'll have like 5, 6, 7 of these all in a row. It got pretty loud there, especially when you got there when nobody's, there. You hear them all playing it, doing that in tandem at the same time. One of my favorites was Street Fighter Alpha, which we played last week. You hear them all go, Street Fighter, Alpha, Alpha, Alpha. Like, okay, somebody's got to disrupt this. And that would be me. Hey, Phantom. I'm doing finally on time. Yep. Grab a seat. Welcome in. Playing on my new Gold Star television, representing the mid-90s era. I should get a black and white TV. Back when I used to play my Atari, I did have a Gold Star 12-inch black and white television, complete with earphone jack. Oh, I got a perfect one. Hey. How you doing, Phantom? Happy Saturday to you. It's nice, bright, and hot over here. We're gonna have a heat index of at least 105. Yay! And it's frickin' September, which doesn't mean anything here in South Florida, but hey, that's all right. And there you go. That's a perfect done, done, done if I ever saw one. Good timing there. We're playing one of my favorite fighters, Tekken.
Round one.
Did not launch for the PlayStation. Came out a month later or so. We had mentioned before 2 fighters already for PlayStation that did launch with it. That was Mortal Kombat 3, which I really, really liked. And Battle Arena Toshinden, which was a breath of fresh air for fighting games, being one of the first 3D fighters for a home console. The other one would be Virtua Fighter for the Sega Saturn.
Round two.
This is where I start sucking, so don't fret. I love the music. Now, I mentioned before, Namco really didn't have a presence so much yet. It'd be around this time when they started releasing games under their own flagship. Because before they would do that through Midway, they'd do that through particularly Atari. And now, nope, they're on their own. They built their own name, and boy, did they. This, of course, before the merger with... Hey, best viewers on... Hey. We're pausing. None of that here. Sorry. All right, having said that. Where was I before we were interrupted with best viewers on something? So, let's see. Yeah. So Namco was starting to build this presence. This was before the Bandai merger, which is kind of ironic. Bandai was also one of the home publishers that they would go through, especially with the NES era. So good times. But if you had a PlayStation, chances are you had this game. Be gone, bot indeed. Oh, bot's gone. Oh. Ah. There you go. Now, last week I actually beat Street Fighter Alpha 2, and that was a pure accident, trust me. It took a few continues. Do love that series. I was watching there's this streamer that I watch quite a bit, Nerdad TPC, excuse me, and he was playing the Marvel vs. Capcom series. Of course, they made 2 of those, but it's amazing what they did with 2D characters versus what we're watching now with the 3D. Outstanding series. Okay, am I going to continue? Of course not. Why should I do that? Because now it's 33 1/3%. It's been a soothing day for me after a long time. Good. Yeah, glad to hear. It's good to have time off. And when I do these streams, it's like a 2-hour vacation for me. So I appreciate it. Namco. I used to love powering up the arcade game, and good morning is what you would hear. I'm like, okay, that's not creepy at all. But why not? Let's see, I believe we already played Paul. That's fine. We haven't gone up to Kazuya yet. Because, Kazuya is just a face of happiness if I haven't seen anything before. Of course, just like me, happiness personified. Yeah, so, here we go. I've been called worse.
Round one.
And the origins of Yoshimitsu stem from this game. Although we do see him in Soul Edge. We do see him in Soul Calibur even. I'm glad they kept him too. It's perfect for that game. There's some killer moves, especially his where he stabs himself to stab you. Down, down, low, kick, spin, spam. That's me. Now, see, I was used to the control mechanisms of Virtua Fighter because I did play that as well, and that had a rather simple, control system where you had punch, kick, and guard. But that's it. And then, of course, you have to use your technique by doing combinations of those. Here, Tekken is a bit more button mashing, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. We're kind of getting King of Spam. Yeah, he was.
Round 1.
And that's probably why he was one of the most popular characters. Because remember, it did show you in percentage how often the character gets played. And Kazuya usually was at the top of the list. But now seeing, the latest release, Tekken 8, how far this series has come. It's still the same damn storyline, too. Ah! Okay, there you go. Like I said, my winning streak is about to come to an end, so don't worry. Few minutes we'll slip into Tekken 2.
Round 1.
Another System 11 game. And what's neat about PlayStation, Tekken 2 came out the same year Tekken did. So, you didn't have long to wait for a new, fresh Tekken. But Tekken 3 wouldn't be out for another 2 to 3 years. It came out in '98. We were still working with Soul Edge or Soul Blade, whatever. Now, on next week, yeah, I got a grade out of that one. Next week, we're going to show some random hodgepodge of fighters that you may have seen, may have not seen before. And trust me, a couple of them are actually pretty damn decent. And at least one of them truly sucks. The thing about a bad fighting game for the PlayStation, what could it possibly be? And no, it's not that one. It's a different one. Actually, I can think of at least 3 off the top of my head of really shitty, pardon my French, fighting games for PlayStation. And I actually own one of them, so the other 2, I know. I bought one because I got the one that I have because it's also an arcade game and was done by an unlikely source. I've actually showcased it here once before. Yeah, that's where I started losing. Should have seen that coming. It is Jack after all. Home run for that. Yay. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, I saw that coming. Like I said, winning streak usually ends around 2. I lost. Continue. Continue? No. Not ever. Now, it's funny. This was a 50-cent game. If I were playing the arcade game right now, I pretty much would have blown through my entry fee going to the Grand Prix. Because Friday and Saturday nights, you had to pay $5 to get in. But you got $5 in tokens, to be fair. So it's not an entry fee per se. It's just, we want you to be serious here. So, having said that, I would have blown through about half my money already. Versus if I went to, say, like, I don't know, Galaga. I'd still be on my first game. In fact, chances are I'd still be on my first life. Oh, yeah. Remember, when you play against a house, it's a bit different versus when you play against a competitor. And a lot of times, you wouldn't play the arcade version of this, per se. You'd be pretty much playing a Versus. And that's fine, because Versus was always cool anyway. Especially when people started getting winning streaks and they see the fruit on the bottom of the screen, etc. But this was indeed a one-player of sorts. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take a pause for just a second. No commercials in this particular one. But what we have to do is change the game because we're actually running on a PlayStation. Or PlayStation 2, rather. Just Why emulate when you actually have the hardware? All right, so let's go ahead and hit the pause right here. There you are. Mute the TV. I'm going to mute the mic so you don't hear me crashing into everything. We're back in about, I don't know, a minute or two. Am I? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it so much. Hey, Nerdad, how you doing? I almost stepped away from the mic. Oh my goodness. How you doing, buddy? Be right back in just a second. Reasons to own a PlayStation. Kind of what we're doing here inadvertently. Thank you. Must have been the chili. I've discovered the hard way. I gotta get used to eating things with hot sauce again, because I haven't done it in a while. Not for that. All right, let's switch over to games, shall we? Because I'm in the mood. I want some Shin Ramen, damn it. Hello? Oh, there you are. Okay. Let's see. I know you're working. I saw the light on. Ah, the PlayStation. Just think, Nerdad, the PlayStation turns 30 next year. How about them apples? Now, I was there in the store selling this crap too. All right, so the opening to Tekken 2. Continue on with the storyline. As you see, they got a little bit more intricate with the opening. 30 years of gaming excellence. Damn straight. Because I had a Sega Saturn as well. You're such a PSX fanboy. Yeah, you even got the... Everyone calls it PS1. I learned to do PS1 thanks to this, because I always referred to it as PSX myself. That was the original code for it. Ah, good times. Yeah, me too. I had a Sega Saturn. You know, it was cool, but remember, Saturn was not a 3D engine per se. It was a heavy built 2D thing. That's why the Capcom games did so well on it. Although it did have a major 3D game that was actually designed on it. Strangely enough, it was Tomb Raider. Everyone was like, oh my god, look at the PlayStation, it's so good! And then look at the Saturn, no, it's not as good. Yeah, it was built on that, actually. Little basic instinct, that's right, man. Whatever's popular. There you go. And the storyline continues. Saturn was pretty good, but it didn't get marketed well enough. Well, it had, yeah, in the States. Saturn had a couple things going against it, big time. The price. It was a $400 console, and back in the day, we considered $300 that threshold. You know, don't go any higher. Because the things that did go higher, like the Neo Geo, the Panasonic 3DO, the Magnavox CDI. Well, the lowest one of those was $700. The highest one was $1,000. And yeah, funny enough, people didn't really line up for that. Versus the PlayStation, which debuted at $300. And there you go. There's your $300 threshold. And look what you got for your $300. Now, Sony sold these below cost. They made the profit on the games. So you'd buy the one PlayStation, but you might buy a cavalcade of games for your enjoyment. That's where the money was made. So let's go ahead and take a look at Tekken 2. You have the arcade mode. You have the versus mode, which is hidden because I only have the one controller. Team battle mode. That's new. Was that because Sony was able to eat it because of their size? Mostly. Mostly, yep. Oh, it took too long. That would be a good answer. This is the arcade opening. Again, with an MPEG opening on an arcade board, which took up pretty much a lot of room. But it's impressive, ain't it? Sega, it's funny, Sega's origins are a bit weird. Sega was actually built by two Americans living in Japan. They formed their company in Japan. Stood for Service Games. And that was about 1964. So they actually did have a presence, but they were a smaller, they just did games, where Sony did everything. I mean, you had a Sony product in your household at one time or another long before you had a PlayStation. So, yeah, Sega was not as large, but Sega had an incredible amount of talent. Now, the irony is that the guy who designed this game used to work for Sega. He was part of the AM2 development team, and he was actually partially responsible for the game Virtua Fighter. Oh, yeah, TVs, radios, you name it. They were General Electronics, and I remember, I'll get to the game in a second. Game Space exclusive, exactly. Sega actually even made games for the second generation consoles. If you remember, like if you had the Star Trek Strategic Simulator, that was actually a Sega cartridge. Sega made it for all the consoles. Congo Bongo, same thing. They did start doing that. And then of course the Crash and whatever. So, but whereas Sony was just everywhere. And when Sony announced that they were coming up with a video game console, and they did have some games. They had Sony ImageSoft was a publisher for some games. They weren't that good. But then all of a sudden comes PlayStation. Holy crap! It just blew up the world practically, as far as video games were concerned. All right, let's play the game. Team battle mode, time attack mode, survival mode. Hell no. Of course, practice mode, option mode. Yeah, we're going to go into options. Game option, we are wimps. Fight counts 2, 40 seconds. Nope. On the continuing, change. Guard damage, no. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, exit. Exit. Arcade mode. And you have a few more characters. Not too many. But you still have Jun, Yoshimitsu, Nina, Law, Heihachi, Paul. And we're going to start off with Jun. Okay, of course, the big difference between this and the arcade game was simply the loading time that you see here.
Round 1. Fight!
Now, again, this game was built on a System 11, which is pretty much PlayStation-based hardware for the arcade that Namco used. Again, an exact translation as far as the looks, the gameplay, and all that kind of neat stuff. Of course, you're not playing with a joystick as you would in the arcade. You played with the Sony PlayStation controller, which is the second best controller in my opinion, versus the PlayStation 2 DualShock 2 controller, which is absolutely the best controller ever made, in my humble opinion, having done this for at least 4 or 5 minutes. Time is several thousand. So, don't give me that. By the way, just a forewarning, I suck at fighting games. That's why I love talking about them versus actually playing them. Because I used to hang, like I said, I was an arcade junkie back in this day and age. And I hung around Grand Prix and they knew a good game when they saw it, and they'd buy like 5 to 10 of these, line them all up, get your game on. I remember the big excitement with Virtua Fighter 2. That actually did very well in the arcades. And it was actually a top Saturn game as well. But Saturn sales didn't compare so much as PlayStation sales. PlayStation sales, by this time, in this released in late 95, 96, PlayStation had just simply taken off. Sony had taken over as king of the video games. Something like a crowd of folks around, yep, exactly, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken. Absolutely. And, you know, Grand Prix was smart enough to keep them all together. They actually had a fighting game section. It was a huge... It originally was called Castle Park when it was in Fort Lauderdale. And it had been around forever, by the way. And at one time, Grand Prix was the world's largest arcade. But over 1,000 games. There you go.
You win.
I think it helps Sony too that they were focused on hardware and others carry the weight of the software. Yeah, Sony was actually criticized for not having a first party much of anything. You were absolutely right. Third party is key in growth, in development, and seeing what others can do with your system is pretty much amazing. Unlike Nintendo and Sega first party stuff. Exactly. So Sony would claim some exclusives, mind you. Keep that in mind. That's why Tomb Raider would often be seen with a PlayStation as like a character for it. Actually, you suck. When it really wasn't a PlayStation character per se. Amongst other things. I remember Polygon, man. I don't know if you remember the purple Polygon face that was at the very, very beginning of the PlayStation's... oh, wow. PlayStation's doohickey. As far as... in fact, I still have one of the talkies, or shelf talkies, of the Polygon Man. Because it was an absolute hard thing to look at. Unofficial official mascot. Exactly. Couldn't say it better myself. Yeah. Paul, you suck. Ah. Yeah, this is where I start losing, by the way. Usually the second or third character. Because why not? Now, I wanted to play Tekken 3 for the PlayStation. I'm going to play it in the arcade instead. Because I can't find my damn game. When you have over 1,500 video games, you do tend to kind of misplace them from time to time, sadly. Because I'm old. Laura, then Crash Bandicoot did kind of become something of the mascot for the PlayStation. And I remember Naughty Dog. In fact, one of my brother's colleagues actually went to work for Naughty Dog. And... we're not going to continue with the same character. Why should I do that? And therefore, characters 0, 0, 0, all kinds of zeros except for June. All right, now. Arcade. Yoshimitsu. That is one of my favorite fighting game characters in general. Because he's just so damn weird. And I love it.
Round 1.
Yeah.
Fight.
There you go. Two can play at that game. Oh, you really? I deserve that. I did deserve that, to be fair. And he gets to bring a weapon to the King of Iron Fists, exactly. Well, that's why he was so easy to integrate into Soul Edge, because he had a sword just like every other character in that game. So, why not? But it's like, in Soul Calibur 2, when you had the three versions, because they had a PlayStation 2 version rather, GameCube version, and Xbox version, they had a guest character. And the best guest character, in my opinion, was GameCube's Link. Versus in, what was it, PlayStation 2, he had Hayachi. And like, why? Why on earth would he bring somebody who has no weapon in a weapon-based game? I believe Spawn was in the Xbox version, if I recall correctly. Yep, Spawn on Xbox, yep. And the version I had to have, well, damn it, I had a Japanese GameCube, so let's play the Japanese Soul Calibur 2. And man, it was amazing. And that one actually outsold the other two Soul Calibur 2s, believe it or not. I think it'd be the PlayStation 2. It wasn't. It was the GameCube. Because they wasted the alien as default.
You win.
Something like that.
Round 2. Fight.
I actually like Yoshimitsu's design in Tekken 3. PlayStation 2 had no real chance. Not really. I mean, PlayStation 2, remember, had numbers. You gotta remember, just like, when they made Mortal Kombat 1 for all the consoles, of course, you took a look at the Switch one. It's like, what the hell am I looking at? Why does it look so damn PS2-like? And that's because it had numbers. Okay, you're gonna put your game on one of the best-selling consoles. Of course you are. You'd be dumb not to do so. Excuse me. Do so. And so, yeah, we made fun of it. but damn it, it's sold.
KO.
And they got money. And that's kind of the name of the game here, folks. They are interested in your perception of how well the game is. They're more interested in your hard-earned cash.
Round 2.
Trifold stand-up, that game stuff. Yeah, I still got mine, as a matter of fact. The Youth for Marketing. I actually, my Instagram had actually, I accidentally put it up twice, I realized. But I'm keeping them up there anyway. But, oh yeah, the trifolds are awesome. Also have a Christmas hanger, you know, hang them out on the ceilings of SoCal 2 with the one with Blink, because I wanted to keep that one. Hell, I still had the GameStop sign that hung over the cash wrap, so.
Final round. Fight.
I miss those days, Nerdad. I really do. Some of the best time in my life is actually selling this crap, playing this. We actually held tournaments in my store as well, which was really, really cool.
KO.
And the game that we did it with was Marvel vs. Capcom, with my own Dreamcast in the cabinet.
You lose.
Yeah, I lose. Do I want to continue? Let me think about it for a second. I got 7 seconds.
6.
I want to continue.
5.
I want to
4.
continue. No! Okay, here we go. Can't make me continue. Nobody tells me what to do. All right, so let's see. GameStop stores that really lean to the gaming culture were good. Yeah. And this was back in the day where we actually paid more. We paid more, higher than minimum wage. We wanted to make sure that our game advisors, that's what we called them, as opposed to, you know, store associates. Our game advisors actually knew what they were talking about the games. We wanted them to play the games, buy the games, just like anyone else, because, damn it, that's the job. Now, me as a store manager, I'm like, okay, I play when I can, and I did. Now, when you like play Kingdom Hearts and spend over 250 hours on the game, back in the day, you know, yeah, I kind of played a little bit. Okay, playtime. Where I worked at did not like to hire gamers. Really? This must have been a different... Well, my GameStop era actually is pre-GameStop. I got started back in '94 with the Electronics Boutique. And then I moved over to Babbage's about 4 years later. Then I got my own store in 2000 and left in 2004. So about a good 10 years of this nonsense. And it's kind of spanned towards the end of Generation 3 all the way up through Generation 6. So, yeah. They weren't talking to customers too long. Oh, that's a horrible mentality. Well, we had to literally stack our customers. That was kind of a big thing because, yeah, everyone needs to get addressed. Everyone needs to get helped. But, yeah, you don't want to take too long, but you still want to sound enthusiastic. You still want to, again, know what you're talking about with confidence. So that's what we call it, stacking customers. At my day, GameStop was a brand new thing. We actually were having people coming to our store trying to sell us insurance. I want to know, you know, if we wanted to be an enterprise with them, and we told them we do have a corporate entity, you know. And that's how you got your hours. Exactly. You know, bigger sales, bigger hours. That's how it works. Oh, Game Informer. I got stories, dude. Oh, more. Yeah. We had. Well, you got to remember there was an ulterior motive to the Game Informer. I do miss the magazine. I just don't miss its politics or the reasoning why we had to sell 9 million of them. You know. You didn't sell the magazine, build something else. I wasn't really big on that. I guess because I'm just a purist. Let's say, how old was I? I was 31 when I left GameStop.
Round 1.
That's 20 years ago. I'm old. But anyway, good times though, nonetheless. And I actually contributed a couple of articles into the, well, more than a couple, into the Game Informer Hive. That was fun.
Round 2.
Come on, boss, how can I sell more magazines in 4 hours? Yeah, that's true. I don't know, figure it out. Yeah, because it was impossible. It was impossible. The logic always killed me. So, that's when you walked away? Yeah, I'm sorry. Really sorry to hear that there. Well, I tell you what, I worked at a mall here in South Florida. It's called Sawgrass Mills. And I know it's an international mall. I mean, clearly an international mall. And we had to sell we had to get reservations and sell subscriptions and all that kind of stuff, and we're like, dude, nobody who visits this mall is actually from here. I said, we get that. No, you don't understand. They're not from this country.
You win.
No, we get people coming up to there, with the little gift bags and stuff like that because they get bussed in from the airports and stuff like that. It is a tourist destination down here. Still is. And, so coupons, because we were originally an outlet mall. Well, that kind of faded away because nobody was selling outlet prices, especially us. So, nope, that didn't work. Are you coupons? You have coupons? No, don't have any coupons. Sorry, buddy. Hey, are you interested in subscribing to Game Informer? Please? So we actually had one of the executives, one of the regionals, come in here and watch us and realize that no customer was based in the United States. They were all from, some came from Europe, some came from South America, wherever. Even Asia, but not here. People don't want that shit magazine. Well, the magazines is kind of a passé thing now, especially when you have this big old thing out there called the internet. I mean, you can just look stuff up, for crying out loud. So, I mean, the gaming presence has forever changed. And as Nerdad said in one of his streams, in fact, just recently, that line between the console and the computer has pretty much all but disappeared. You're downloading games, especially with the new PS5. You're downloading games directly into there. Working there in 2005, yeah, that's right after my time. I was a Geek Squad agent in 2005. Those were fond memories too. That's another day for another story, I'm afraid, though. Magazine, yeah, the magazine was still popular, sure. I mean, we were just getting like DSL speeds in 2005. Cable, maybe. Right now, I have fiber. I'm very happy with that. But like I said, now you download games directly to your console. Now we have a console that doesn't even have an interface per se, a natural cart or optical disc-based interface. So, not sure how it's going to work out, to be honest with you. Oh, you went to Circuit City? I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Do you remember what the repair service for Circuit City was called? Because they were our direct competitor over at Best Buy. I remember them. Okay, true story there. Hang on, man. I was harassed by GameStop once. I ended up going to Best Buy to get a 360 controller. Yeah, well, I remember that. That kind of was. They kind of got more aggressive when they started. They tried doing that to me, and I tell them, dude, I used to work here. You're in game, movies, and CDs. Oh, good. Okay. That was a good department, in my opinion.
You win.
They had a repair team called the Fire Dog, if I recall correctly, that tried to compete directly with us, GameStop. Geek Squad. And yeah, that's fun. Hang on, I hear my wife calling me, so hang on just a sec. I got it perfect. I don't know how. That's a fluke. Let me pause for a second. Please stand by. Ouch. It was gross. Okay. Well, something got Macy's attention. Okay, I think we can go back to the console now. I'm just admiring the music that I'm listening to because I slowed it down by about 75%, and it's much better now. Okay. What happens when you let me loose on a piano? Anyway, where was I? I love bad music for all kinds of wrong reasons. Just the hilarity of it. Circuit City. That's a company I see, brands that no longer exist. And they always seem to make that list, of course.
Round one.
Kind of a shame. Because working at Best Buy, you do get to know the opposition, as they call it, at least in management, your competitor. Well, you have similar likes. You just don't. You know, you talk about shop in general. You just don't talk specifics. Yeah, I deserve that. And when Circuit City went away, I think it was what, 2009? I'll go to the mall and find them now working, you know, like in the Radio Shack or doing one of the kiosks. Oh yeah, yeah. That was the thing. You know, the competitor would hire the falling out. You know, that happens. Happened when Babbage's and Software Etc., which ultimately would become GameStop, was having its troubles. Yeah, EB did a lot of hiring of them. Radio Shack. You remember Radio Shack? Everyone remembers Radio Shack. That was the parts store. I used to buy all kinds of crap there. Fuses, diodes. Oh my god. Replacement parts. Replacement RF boxes. Remember those? You can even buy the white Coleco controllers. ColecoVision controllers. FuncoLand. Now, we didn't have a FuncoLand here in South Florida, but we were sued by them. And what happened was, the ultimate game, what would become ultimately GameStop, which was, again, Babbage's and Software Etc. The parent company went out of business. They got bought out by the owner of Barnes & Noble. We were literally stealing their pricing guide for the trade-ins, and they caught wind of that, and they sued us successfully for it. And, well, a lot of paying off worked out, and then, of course, you know, GameStop wound up buying FuncoLand anyway, so there's that. Bought parts at Radio Shack to fix my 360. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I used to get replacement, you know, the RF switches, they used to have the little hooks for the antenna, you know, for the antenna clamps, and they'd break so often. I wound up just like, you know, they'd break off, so I'd just like rethread them. Oh, those were days. And the coaxial adapters as well. Oh, good times. Now there's Amazon. Okay. Not so much for browsing through a store, but that's what we do. Here we are. Arcade. Okay. Got about 64 minutes left in game time. Let's see. Who do I want to play? I could be terrible as Hiachi. I could be terrible as Michelle. I could be terrible as King. Let's be terrible as King. That's something I am. Terrible. Ultimate lurk time. Gotta get ready to head to the airport. Absolutely. You have a great vacation, my friend. You have a great. Now, are you heading to? Say you're heading to Disney World? Did I hear that right, or am I hallucinating again? Boy, is that terrible, all right? All right. Well, that's about 200 miles north of me. You have a great time. All the Disney parks. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you will be busy, my friend. Enjoy Epcot, though. That's my favorite place in the whole wide world. Especially the Japan Pavilion. Enjoy. Have a great time. And if you haven't seen Nerdad TPC stream, do so. It is a must. It is required. It is the biggest chill hangout I know of, and you'll have a good time. Trust me. So miss the squad while but we'll be back for you. You'll be back soon, refreshed from vacation, and we'll be all there with you. So you have a great one. Have a good time with your family.
Round one. Fight.
That's where we went on our honeymoon in London last night. Wound up staying at Fort Wilderness one time too. That was so good. I love that place. Okay, so we're talking about the old days of video gaming, in fact, in the retail sense. Let's go back to the game here. Now, the game, again, was built on a System 11, so the same believe it or not, same exact hardware that was the PlayStation's, for Tekken 1 for the arcade. And, of course, it would certainly use up the same hardware for the home version as well. And then, again, perfect translation. It's still a port. It's just a damn excellent port. Perfect port. I lose. Yeah, I'm good at doing that. Final round. Here we go. There you go. And look how snappy dressed King is. That's the perfect fighting outfit. I muted my PC when I unplugged my headset. I'm a I do that. I rarely have the speakers on anymore, to be fair. To be fair, I rarely ever have my speakers on anymore. Everything's through the earphones. It's just easier for me to do it this way. I win! Yes, right. Love that tie. Don't change a thing. Tie and suspenders is the perfect fighting outfit. There you go. Jack 2 is such a piece of crap. Yeah, okay. Might get lucky here. Nope. Yeah, I did get lucky.
You win.
I'm actually envious of her dad right now. I haven't been to Disney World in quite a while. It's easier for me here in Florida. Because it's right in the center of the state, practically. So it's not hard to get to wherever you are. Unless you're in the, take it back. Unless you're in the Keys, yeah, then it's pretty freaking hard. It's like a 400-mile trip. People forget how big the state of Florida is. My favorite "how big is Florida" story I have. I couldn't go to. We call them the game show. We had a game show coming out in Atlanta. You know, all the vendors and stuff like that meeting up with our people and of course store managers and all that. Well, I couldn't go this year, and so somebody went in my place and they said, "You're going to fly there, right?" And it's like, "No, I'm going to drive up there." I'm like, "Why?" You know how far away Atlanta is? Oh, I'll be there in just a few hours. No, you won't, dude. It takes 4 hours just to get to Orlando from where we were. And he lived an hour south of us, so you just tack on another hour. And so, yeah, he went in his gas-guzzling SUV. And we get a call from about 6 o'clock that evening. Thanks for calling GameStop. What do you want? Oh, I can't believe I'm still in the state of Florida. Dude, where are you? And it turns out he was in Jacksonville. So he's almost out of the state. I said, dude, I told you it was a long drive. Oh, I didn't realize it was that long. Double KO. Well, I still won anyway. But man, yeah, Florida's a pretty long drive, guys. But whatever. We learned the hard way. I'm gonna end it here, but it looks like I'm actually almost like winning. And that won't last long. Like I said. Look at this. We got fighters and suspenders, all snappy dressers. Why fight casually?
You win.
Yeah. Love the tie is animated too. It's not just like, you know, just not texture on a polygon. It itself is polygons. Okay. Yeah, be helpful if I actually got like closer. Yeah, I lose. That's all right.
Final round. Fight.
As we were talking with Nerdad here, this kind of started changing the way video games were, as far as fighting games were. Yeah, we had our 2D fighting games. We had Mortal Kombat. We had Street Fighter series and all 11 million Street Fighters. Remember how many Street Fighters it took to just get Street Fighter 3? It took over 10 years. Nevertheless, I lose. Okay, we're going to switch games here in just a second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bingo. Okay, we're in the second half of our show. And if you're not familiar with my stream, I'm Super Pac, I'm a retro streamer. I've been gaming for quite some time. I like to share a lot of my memories and, of course, my games here. These games are from my personal collection. So we're going to switch over to Tekken 3. But this is the arcade game, and I do have an arcade board of Tekken 3. Haha. So I do collect arcade boards as well, because we used to have a general JAMA cabinet. In fact, we still do. It's just kind of put away somewhere. I already have 2 arcade cabinets in the house. Kind of big. But I have, arcade boards like Pac-Man, Galaga, Donkey Kong, Soul Edge, Tekken 2 and 3, a couple of the Turtles games, and so forth and so on. So, yeah, we got them. I even have laser discs, like Dragon's Lair, Cliffhanger, so forth. Okay, back in a second. I'm going to hit pause. And we're going to, wow, listen to that with a cacophony of this. Holy cow. Let's turn down that. Holy cow, that's rather harsh. Oh, commercials are coming our way. We'll be back after this. Don't go away. Thanks. And we're back. Hello, community. Next week, Saturday, we're going to continue on with the fighting game from Video Game Memory Lane. Random fighting games. I forgot to close the door. Hang on with just a second. Okay, what was I saying? Next week, we're going to do some random fighting games. We're going to see some games that you've probably not seen before that were published on the PlayStation. Most of these are PlayStation games. And some of them are good, some of them are not so good. One of them is really rotten, too. We're going to enjoy it regardless. Head over to the arcade, shall we? Because we got some Tekken 3 to be playing. And let's see. Oh, it's not the arcade. Okay. Oh, it's one of those where it only records when something's moving. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, something's moving, all right. Holy cow. Nice. Okay. Well, anyway. And it's still going. Oh, lovely. Okay, so anyway, here we are with Tekken 3 in the arcade itself. Let's go ahead and unmute the cabinet. And this was a System 12 arcade game as opposed to Tekken's 1 and 2 System 11. And so it's a bit more powerful PlayStation, if you will. Had a faster CPU, a bit more RAM, more polygons in translation. But how are we going to make that for the PlayStation? Because that was built on System 11. Actually, the System 11 is built on the PlayStation, to be fair. Well, the answer is simple. Just cut down the polygon count, but not too much. And make quasi 3D backgrounds, because the backgrounds in this game were actually 3D. As opposed to the mural that you will see in Tekken's 1 and 2, or at least what we did see in Tekken's 1 and 2. Okay, fair enough. And once again, this will cost you a whole 50 cents to play in the arcade game. So far, back in the day when you go to Grand Prix, you had to pay $5 to get in. You get $5 in tokens. I have blown through my tokens. I've gone easily through my $5. So much for that. Here we go. I just realized I'm still holding my PlayStation controller. Why is the game not going? I guess I'm stupid. Okay. Yeah, okay, so let's see. Game over. Okay, so I can play 1 or 2 players. Probably could turn that up. Not gonna let me turn it up. Technical difficulties, just give me a second here. Because you're so damn low, no wonder. Okay, there you go. We're gonna play Yoshimitsu, because why not? Round 1. Again, so now we got 3D backgrounds going on, which is pretty cool. And this was a few years after Tekken 2. Of course, Yoshimitsu's in here. He's one of my favorite characters. We'll see him in a little bit in a game that he kind of wound his way into, as he was more suitable for that game. Remember, as Nerdad successfully said, this is the King of the Iron Fist, yet here he is with a sword. Rather green alien-like sword, too. As his appearance changed drastically from this and Tekken 1. Yeah, there you go. I won. Yeah, I don't know how. Fluke. And just as a reminder, as a disclaimer, I suck at fighting games. Just to give you a heads up. I'd rather watch people play them versus actually playing them. Some exceptions. I did love Virtua Fighter. In fact, Virtua Fighter 3 is one of my favorites. Of course, Street Fighter Alpha 3. And a little game called Vampire Savior from Capcom, which was a sequel to Night Warriors. Excellent game. A crap load of characters in it. So did this one, for that matter. Nerdad was in chat earlier. He was playing some Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They just recently released that. Marvel package. I love the helicopter in the background there. That's pretty cool. I lose, yeah, because I suck. Yeah, we're not gonna play Yoshimitsu. I'm let down. Okay. Yay. Put in another 50 cents. Who can I suck as now? Ah, well, you know what? New character? Let's do it. Xiao Yu it is. Ah. And then here, by this time, they started kind of more integrating the 3D aspect. If you play the first two, you say, wow, it's a 3D game, but they still fight in a straight line. Well, there were some moves that kind of allowed you to move around just a tad. Fully integrating, finally, the 3D idea. But here's the funny part. Today, they're still doing that. We're still fighting in a straight line for the most part. Some exceptions, but not a whole lot. Ah, turn around. There you go. Yeah, keep being up. Thank you. Perfect. Absolutely. So remember this. Now, again, this was a huge game released for PlayStation. Did very, very well. Sign-ups were like crazy. And again, some people who were familiar with how all this stuff works, like how are they going to build a perfect translation? They didn't. I'd say it's about a 98% perfect translation, to be fair. Because you notice that they're now they're starting to get really heavy in the polygon count. They have individual fingers now, that type of thing. Again, the backgrounds are in 3D as well, as opposed to just simply a mural. but they got better and better as time goes on, as they should. Now, the other System 12 games, there weren't that many of them. I can only think of 2 of them off the top of my head. Other than this one, that would be Tekken Tag Tournament, because that was an arcade game, by the way. And Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur, of course, was on the Dreamcast, but original was a System 12 arcade game. All right. Yep. Suck City, here we go. Ah, gotta learn the guard, stoop. Oh, that's close. And when Soul Calibur was released on Dreamcast, I was just absolutely blown away. Amazing looking game. I lose again. Yes, again. Okay. Game over. I lose. Okay. And that's a buck that I've just wasted. Nina won't let me down. I'll just let her down. Of course, it would be against Jim. At least you get him out of the way. Still gonna lose. At least he'll be out of the way. A more skill fighter, anyway. Okay, that was a fluke. But the character I hated absolutely the most in the Tekken series would be Jack. Slow, but more against him than as him. Wow, that's a fluke. How about them apples? I win. Yeah, that won't happen too often, trust me. There you go. Now, was it? I think it was Tekken 4 when they released on the PlayStation 2. They actually had the first 3 arcade games on it as a bonus, if you will. If I recall correctly, that was pretty damn cool, I have to admit. Ah. But I don't have my PS3 in here. It's in my living room. That's all right. Ah. Hey. That's fair. Follow me sucking. Uh-huh. Of course, wildly swinging my arms and missing everything in sight. That's perfect. That's using my strategy. My brother calls it doing the Pac-Man. That's when when you play Smash Brothers. Of course, you know, you can fall off the stage easily. And I wind up doing that so often, he just calls that the Pac-Man. Because my brother's an asshole. My brother essentially is me without the sense of humor. That means he's just pure evil. But anyway. If you're watching, I'll see, which I seriously doubt you are. Hi! I deserve that. So how's everyone doing? The fine Saturday we have. Yeah, I lose. It's losing with confidence, though. Yeah, I'm going to lose this one. So that the next player behind me, he's waiting for me to get the hell out of the way because I suck, and I just watch them play. Meantime, I'll go find Ms. Pac-Man somewhere in the arcade. Okay. I love the arcade opening. Again, putting an MPEG movie on a PCB, that takes memory. That takes a lot of it too. For the EEPROM. Anyway. There you go. So they were short and sweet in the arcade, but when they got to the home version, oh man, they were long. Okay. Do a little bit more here. Because we have other games to play too. Okay, let's put some credits in. Let's see. Ah, Law with gray hair. Because the story continues. Fight! There we go. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Again, fluke. That's a fluke. just keep beating the crap out of her even though the round's over. That's cruel. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't, but I did anyway, so. Ah! This was fun times. When I was, now see, this was the 1998, I think? Yeah. So I would now be over at Babbage's. I left EB by this time. And, I mean, again, the excitement of this game coming over to your PlayStation was just incredible. Sold PlayStations even. And if you had a PlayStation, you certainly had the game. Oh, I hate that move. Yoshimitsu. Can't be doing that around here. I'll just popcorn you up there. There you go. My cheesy moves win. I win, yeah. Something is taking a bit of CPU time, I see. Okay. Well, it's Saturday. Ah! No special moves there, Skippo. You're gonna do it anyway. Okay. Well, actually, one around. Woohoo! I win. Not often heard with me behind the joystick. Okay. At least not in these. And you know, there were so many good fighting games in this time. You know, Midway had with Nintendo Killer Instinct. Capcom, of course, had their Street Fighter series, and they started going into 3D as well. But with the Street Fighter Alpha was 2D rather, but then they went to Street Fighter EX, which was 3D. It was okay. They hadn't quite got the hang of it yet, but they ultimately would. There was a little game called the Beasterizer, what we would know as Bloody Roar. That was really fun too. And remember Bloody Roar, good for you. That game's a bit obscure. That was a lot of fun to play.
Round one, fight.
Mortal Kombat started going to 3D with Mortal Kombat 4, like I said before. And then the arcades kind of started changing. As why go to the arcade when you can actually start playing this crap at home? And that's kind of a sad thing for arcade kids like me. I've been going to the arcade for years by this time.
Round two, fight.
We were in a place called Cypress Gardens. This was back in 1981. And there was a humongous electrical storm, and all the arcade machines started going on and off, which was damn frightening. Because I was trying to play Pac-Man. The place is now called Legoland in Orlando, Florida. Orlando-ish, Florida. Not exactly Orlando. Orlando is kind of ambiguous because it's Kissimmee and other suburbia around there. Anywho. But those were good times in the arcade. You got to play games and you got to play them for a few minutes. Here, different beast. Here's endurance. And you get to show off your skills, which I would play other games to show off my skills. Like, wow, I didn't realize there was level 80 and there was a level 80 symbol in Galaga. Yep, there is. Level 100 as well. Actually, it was level 75 with a 5 marker. No games where I could actually score 1 million points. Boring as hell. Certainly not stream worthy, but I did it. My goodness. We've come a long way here. We've come a long way. And this is just, what, a handful of years? This is like 4 years between Tekken's 1 and 3. And it's much faster, much flashier. And that's what they do. You know, the good companies, they will actually improve their thing. The one game I'm thinking in particular that kind of went the wrong way was Battle Arena Toshinden. If you haven't heard that game, that was a launch title for the PlayStation. It was pretty cool. Then came Toshinden 2, and that was pretty cool as well, but it wasn't much better than 1. And then along came 3, and they decided to not put any textures on the polygon to make it faster. But it looked like crap. And then that was the end of it. It only went through 3 games. Versus Tekken, well, Using virtually the same hardware for 1 and 2, they made a much more improved one with 2. And with slightly better hardware, they did incredible with Tekken 3. All right, we're going to go ahead and switch up the game now. So let me go ahead and jump out of the arcade. Bye, arcade. I will miss you. Let's go over to my stupid face, shall we? And that looks like over here. That's me. Ah, good times. The best times. Like I said, the arcades today, my brother is a tech manager at a major arcade down here in South Florida. And it's completely different beast now. They're all redemption games. Some shooters, at least, you know, got a few of those. But largely, you know, games where you get tickets and such. And it's just a different thing now these days. Game coming up on the console. In fact, let me switch controllers. I accidentally started a game on it because I was actually using the wrong controller because I'm a doofus. And I get to do doofus things. Once you hit 50, all bets are off. So, got about 35 minutes, 36 minutes almost, rather, left in the stream. So let's go ahead and continue to the new console. Okay, and it's actually in track mode. Excellent, thank God. I knew I started something because I heard the disc started doing all wacko things. Like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. So this is Tekken Tag Tournament. First Tekken that was featured on a PlayStation 2. And one thing the PlayStation 2 didn't really kind of get itself together was with the anti-aliasing. It was kind of jagged. In fact, some of those early games, when we were playing Gran Turismo 3 a while back on Video Game Memory Lane, yeah, you can see things far away. They certainly had their jagged lines, jagged edges. But they did work around that, and they finally did get some damn good graphics out of this, because Dreamcast didn't have that problem. It was kind of built in to its software. Not so much here. PlayStation 2 was a bit harder to program for. But give it time. Give it a couple of generations. And this is my overall favorite system, aside from the ColecoVision. Pardon me as I take a sip from my coffee. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some game in here. Oh, that's right, it's a tag tournament. So here you got 2 players. And again, the graphics difference, while, you know, again, Gen 1 game on PS2, it is absolutely amazing. Marvelous looking game nonetheless. And when you consider, let's see, how old is this game now? It's over 20 years old, I know that. About 23, 24 years old? Oh yeah. I say that with absolutely hard to believe, like, oh my God, is it really? Yes, it is. Pair play mode, or I can play a single play. Okay. Let's see, is that all I have? Game options, okay. Difficult level, it knows me all too well. Easy. Fight counts 1, you have whole minute this time around. Character can change at the end, sure. But why? Guard damage is off, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the usual stuff. Okay. Excellent. Let's go ahead and play. Okay, so first, let's see, all these characters, and of course you have bonus characters that will be coming up as you beat other characters, so forth. You can see it's taking time to load up from the disc. Let's go ahead and choose Yoshimitsu. We'll choose one of his other appearances. And we'll choose Nina, because they absolutely do not get along. Not quite the frickin' frack. Here we go.
Tag battle. Fight.
And of course, they introduced the tag team fighting style in this one. You can play that game. Ah. There you go. The Nina's signature moves there. Ah! Yeah, you gotta be careful. If just one of your characters loses all of its health, that's it. The game is over. Unlike what later games would do, which they just simply switch out the character. This is not Capcom.
Tag battle. Fight.
That was a cool game, I have to admit. I really did enjoy this. I was really, really impressed with Tekken 4, which we will not be playing today because we have one more game after this to round up our video game memory lane for this particular Saturday. And, you know, all being that we're playing Tekken all the way, I have to make mention of one of my other favorite fighting games of all time. Yeah, I'm cheap. I'm so cheap. Sorry. Oh my goodness! Show off. Yeah. Wow, I'm actually doing semi-decent, but that won't last.
Tag battle. Fight.
Yeah. Now in the arcade, I didn't see too many of these. I have to admit, even with Grand Prix. The Grand Prix was still a thing, although Grand Prix would later become boomers, and it would kind of shrink itself just a tad, which much to my dissatisfaction. But they were not there for me. After all, there are over 7 billion people on this planet right now. The chances are it's never all about me. But still, nevertheless, I was rather disappointed to see that. And what happened is that the owners decided to sell. One of the owners decided to sell. The other one got bought out, so... But that was an end of an era. By the time this particular game started rolling out. And we kind of started losing arcades left and right down here. I mean, they still exist. You just kind of have to go out, literally go out of your way to find one. There's one up in Delray Beach that's absolutely brilliant. It's more of a pinball museum. In fact, it started off being called the Pinball Museum, Silvercade. It was rather Silver Ball Pinball Museum. But now it's a Silver Ball Arcade. And they're absolutely amazing. If you're ever in South Florida, that is a place to go to. It's a fun place. You got a lot of nostalgia, but they also have some of the new stuff out there as well. Especially new pinball tables by Jersey Jackson, Stern Electronics. And all them. And we try to go up there every once in a while. It's a bit of a drive for us, but hey, it's worth it. Plus, they have damn good food there, too. Which is unusual. None of that stuff, sorry. I didn't understand that. What? Whatever. Okay. Yes. You're switching out characters just so you can stay alive. That's how you play. That's part of the strategy of this game. Oh my god. I forgot he's in this. I forgot he's in this.
Tag battle. Fight.
Oh my god. Forgot all about him. All right. Again, bit of difference between this and the System 12 games. System 12, well, didn't have the polygon count that the PlayStation 2 can enjoy. So they kind of augmented here, just a tad. Nevertheless, still the same game. So the graphics weren't as sharp as they were on, for the System 12 versus PlayStation. It's not like the difference between Soul Calibur Arcade versus Soul Calibur Dreamcast. Very much the same thing. And this is where I started losing, by the way. Right, come on. There you go. Oh! There you go. Final stage can't be. Impossible.
Round one. Fight.
Yep, like I said, this is where I start failing. I do love the fact that there, if you notice, being that this is a PlayStation 2 game, if you take a look at the second player, it says insert coin credit 0. So it tell you this is not just a port, not a free play even. Although they could have done that, they didn't. Okay, yep. Ah, finally lost. That's all right. I will continue this.
Continue.
Sure. Continue city. Oh, that's right. It actually allowed me to change. So should I change? Yeah, why not? I'm going to keep Yoshimitsu. See what it looks like now? Okay. That's right. I did use that one. Lee is pretty fast. So we'll choose Lee. There you go. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday.
Round 1. Fight.
As soon as we're done here streaming, we'll have a physical therapy with my wife, London Lass, as I said before. She had a bit of a mishap last year, relearning to walk, and we're going to go outside. We're going to get in my car today. That's big stuff. Okay. Uh-huh. Still have room to grow there. Not much. There you go. Wow, I actually beat a Tekken game. Haven't done that in forever. I'm showing all my lousy replays. And there you go. So as I said, we're going to be doing some stuff outside, so I can get my sunscreen on. I have to put on like sun protection factor 9,000. I think the highest you can get anymore is 50. But regardless, that I will be doing. As me and the sun just simply don't mix, as with most redheads. Although my caricature is blonde, because back in the day I kind of was blonde, but hair changes color over the years. So what can I tell you? Roger. Oh my God, I forgot all about you. That and Lizard Man. All right. Excellent stuff. Like I said, this was a good entry for Tekken. It was the first one for PlayStation 2, and they did, improve it, particularly with Tekken 4. Brilliant game. And, when you have a Japanese console, because I did, I actually would import them, bring my console to work, to the store, and show off the games. What will be coming to North America in the foreseeable future. And I did this with Tekken Jag as well, so Tekken Tag, I should say, not Jag. That was good stuff anyway. Everyone gets their due here. And the music was pretty cool too, I have to admit. The credits roll. Have a good time with this. Yeah. And going forward, normally I do stuff that was 20th century. We're going to introduce PlayStation 2 games into our little repertoire of games as well. Because A, I have like a billion of them. And B, why not? It does cross over to 21st century. But it's still more than 20 plus years old now. So why the heck not? And my next console I'm going to be putting up here will be the Dreamcast. Because I got mostly everything together. I just got to get some room for it and such. And, well, some time. That's the one thing I don't have a whole lot of. But why not? All right, you show off. But this was a good time for video gaming, for me particularly, but in general as well. Looking at new hardware, the leaps between the systems were still quite large. no more, wiggling textures on polygons and such like that. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. No more shaky polygons and warping polygons. It's all, they actually had memory to keep it all straight and such like that. But we're going to take a step back in just a second as soon as all this is over. I forgot there's like 9 minutes worth of credits here for these games. But they deserve the credit, to be fair. Next game, we're going to be playing as Soul Edge. And again, going back to System 11, but it introduces a new concept. And it had a concept in this particular game that was not enjoyed with Soul Calibur going forward. And that is, you don't want to guard too much. We're going to find out why as soon as we cross over. Oh my goodness, is there any way we can speed these up? Probably not. The answer to that is no. Well, they do get more cinematic these days. Although this is a 24-year-old game, so. Produced by Namco, blah, 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 blah. 25-year-old game, to be fair. The arcade game came out in 99, the home version in 2000. Alrighty. So I shall mute the TV. And we're going to hit pause. And where's pause? There it is. And no timer on this one because there's no commercials for this one. So stand by for just a second. I got to switch out the game. We'll be right back. Alrighty. I had to coax the PlayStation 2 to open its stupid tray. I have a 39,000 model. My 50,000 model blew up. Lost its heat sink, which really sucked. But I did play the hell out of it. So I got one of my older models, and there it is. Yay. It happens. But back in the day, I can actually get like multiple consoles, so hey, whatever. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go to our new console. We'll still onto the new TV, rather. And there it is. Right on time. I was so excited when this game came out. I've played in the arcade.
Namco.
Yep, religiously. Again, not great at it, but nevertheless. But I was surprised they changed the name of it. But they gave us such an intro. Here we go.
A tale of soul and swords, eternally retold.
Oh, I had to get the soundtrack to this game. So, Soul Blade here in North America, Soul Edge otherwise. And if you actually look at the video itself, you can actually see Soul Edge as it's forming into the screen. And the other major difference, of course, was the Sopatita actually was, clad with robe or whatever like that while she was coming out of the water. Where in the Japanese game, nope, she was buck naked. So, let's go on with the game. Okay. Another System 11 game. Of course, translate over to PlayStation. Did a good job. There's some minor graphical differences, like in the
Welcome to the
screens themselves. See if I can actually find one. Within the next 16 and fraction seconds, minutes rather. Let's play Rock. Oh, Voldo, of course.
Battle 1.
Oh,
Fight.
yeah. Sadly, that's my guard. Now in this game, you don't want to guard too often because you see there's a secondary meter there. That is your weapon meter. You can actually lose your weapon by guarding way too much with it. One thing about Rock, he is awfully slow. He has a big old axe. Yeah, so you can knock him out too.
The grueling battle ended with the victory of Rock.
But what really got me on the game, aside from the graphics and gameplay, the music, the scenery. Oh my goodness.
Battle 2.
Again, this probably was a bit of a challenge on the System 11 because, you know, look at it's a PlayStation for Christ's sakes. Probably can turn that down again. I do that real fast. Find volume control. Turn you down. No, not up. Stoop. There you go. Just a bit down. Excellent. Yeah. Now, the character I usually would play would be indeed Voldo. I'm glad he's out of the way now.
With the victory of Rock, you win.
I win. But they didn't carry over the weapon damage into the next game. That would be Soul Calibur. And any subsequent Soul Calibur as well. It's kind of a shame. I like the idea. You didn't want to, just sit there and guard as they're wailing on you. And trust me, if you lose your weapon, I've done it. It sucks harder than a Hoover. Oh my goodness, just flung right out of the thing. And you do have a finite arena, which is fantastic. I love that. Virtua Fighter also had that. I'm glad that Namco finally introduced that in one of their games. Oh wow, right out the gate. You suck. Now, some of the things about this game I found a little annoying was the English translation of Sopatita. It was incredibly apologetic. Literally apologizing, killing you. It's like, who does that? Well, apparently she does. Oh, it's me against me. My favorite track of the entire game. And here, the graphical difference is the grass itself. When you see an aerial view of the grass, it's actually like a big zigzagged line, where in the arcade game it was a grid. I guess they just did that to make it look more, random, I guess. I don't know.
The grueling battle
You can see definitely it's a zigzaggy line there.
You win.
That's fine. But I did love this game.
Fight.
And I'm one of those dorks who will actually include video game music into his MP3 player. And I do. I have Chrono Trigger in there. I have this game in there. Metal Gear. Solid. To be fair, not the original 8-bit Metal Gear. Nah, that'd be a bit much. But I love it when that track comes up.
Battle 1. Fight.
Here's Sopatita. Yeah, you kick right in the groin and you apologize. That's this game. Oh, that's a bit of a step there. Sorry. Now I'm doing it.
You win.
Here you go.
Battle 2.
That is one hell of an axe. Yep, she's guarding a lot. Oh, ouch. I didn't hear you apologize. Yeah, unless I'm sorry. Yeah, that's about right. Oh, my goodness. She's about to lose her sword. Means anything there.
You win.
I win. You think he'd be happier, maybe? Maybe?
Battle 1. Fight.
This game sold pretty well as a fighter. It didn't have the Tekken numbers, but it held its own enough to get a sequel, of course. The sequel would be on the Dreamcast, and it was a Dreamcast exclusive. So, again, launch title for Dreamcast as well. So, if you wanted to play the game, you got a Dreamcast. But then they more made up for that with Soul Calibur 2, where each system had their own special character. Of course, the GameCube one outsold the others, with Link being the character versus Xbox's Spawn. And for whatever reason, PlayStation had Hachi, so whatever. Sure, that made sense somewhere. And then Yoshimitsu, he is a King of the Iron Fist tournament, but frickin' sword, so
You win.
logic is questionable in video games in general. That's just the way it works. Siegfried. Yes.
Fight.
Another slow but meticulous character, Siegfried. Again, because of that large-ass sword that he carries. Ouch. Versus, the humongous axe that Rock carries.
The grueling battle ended with the victory of Rock. You win.
I win. Yeah.
Battle
And again, the
2.
music in this game was just incredibly good. Not the electronica or rock and roll or anything like that. Near orchestrated. Or faux orchestrated. It gave this game a lot of character too, considering the backgrounds. Now again, this game also had 3D backgrounds, much like Tekken 3 did. So why did they kind of not do that with Tekken 3 on the home version? Because of the high polygon count of the characters themselves. They tried to keep the characters as close to the arcade game as they could without sacrificing too much. There you go. Huang. All right.
Battle 1. Fight.
Oh, come out. Come out swinging there, huh? All right. There you go. Ah! You jackass to me, that's fine. There you go. Gonna hit sometime.
Knockout. The grueling battle ended.
Now, I've accidentally threw myself out of the arena doing crap moves like that. So I should lose.
Battle
I
2.
didn't, but I should.
Fight.
There you go. But again, another fine series of games. Ultimately, it would be Soul Calibur.
You win.
And I still refer to this as Soul Edge because that's how I played in the arcade. I just fell in love with this game. And it would be one of the fighters I really tried to learn,
Battle
as opposed to some of the other, some of my BS moves that I would play, like in Tekken, or Mortal Kombat, or even especially Killer Instinct, because that was Killer Instinct. My big gripe about that one was it was just simply a button masher. There you go. Haven't knocked any. Well, no, I've knocked out a few people actually out of the arena. This is one of my favorite boards too because of the scenery. Scenery is incredible with this one.
2. Fight.
And this is a '96 game. This is a second-generation fighter for PlayStation. I was so excited when this came out. So effing excited. Oh, almost. I love that. About to say, any hit's gonna do it.
The grueling battle ended with the
He almost lost his weapon, too.
You win.
I kind of wish they kept that. I really do. I see my weapon is energized. Tacky.
Battle 1. Fight.
Ah! Oh! Damn. Oh! No, that's close. That's so close. She almost lost her weapon again. Can't guard too much, because if you do, you will lose that weapon. It will break right in your hands. And then, boy, will that suck.
Battle 2. Fight.
One thing, Tacky was incredibly fast. So, me losing, I would not be surprised one bit that there you go.
Rock.
In fact, I might even lose a match.
Against an impossible
And that's
enemy.
fine.
You lose.
In fact, I haven't played this game in so long.
Final battle.
That's what I love about streaming here. You have to forgive my selfishness when I talk about something like this. I don't play these games a whole lot anymore. I've been busy. But I take 6 hours of my life per week. She's about to get it perfect, didn't she? Yep. Great.
The grueling battle.
And get to enjoy games of my past. My
You
collection.
lose.
Yeah, I lose. That's okay. I will continue.
Will you challenge the enemy again?
Of course I will.
Battle 1.
All right. That 50 cents went a long way toward the arcade game. Ooh. That's close. That is close.
Grueling battle ended.
Nice.
The victory of Rock. You win. Battle.
It's also one of the few fighters of this era that they just started going 60 frames per second. This is a 30 game per second, 30 frames per second, I should say. And but it still works. There you go. Oh. Sure did. Wow.
The grueling battle ended with the victory of Rock. You win.
I win. And he's constipated. Cervantes. Oh boy. Here we go.
Battle 1. Fight.
Here's the Soul Edge itself. Oh, miss. Wow.
Knockout.
There you go.
The grueling battle ended with the victory of Rock. You win.
Excellent.
Battle 2. Fight.
Yeah, I deserve that. Ah. Oh! Didn't roll out of the way fast enough. Yeah. It will not surprise if I lose this match as well.
Stood against an impossible enemy.
I
You
sure did.
lose.
Yeah, I lose.
Offer your spirit.
Not yet there, shiny boy.
Final battle. Fight.
Here we go. Ah. Ah. Damn, that was close.
The grueling battle ended with the victory of Cervantes. You lose. Will you
Yeah,
check?
I'm continuing.
Battle 1. Fight.
Okay. Oh. Oh, so close. Oh. Damn it.
Rock. Stood against.
Yeah,
You
shut up.
lose.
Yeah, shut up.
Battle
Go.
2. Fight.
Only got a couple minutes left here. Oh, don't go all perfect on me. Ah. Ah. Come on. Yeah. Okay, one more.
Grueling battle ended with the
One
you
more.
lose.
We've got stuff to do this afternoon.
For your spirit.
Love to stay a little bit longer. Hey, London Last. Lost 3 in a row. Not yet.
Battle 1.
Close. 2 in a row. Okay, now Cervantes is becoming an asshole. Oh, he's going to get a perfect. Yep.
Rock.
Of course, he just blew up his blade with that one.
Possible enemy. You
But he still has a blade left.
Offer your spirit.
Thank you. We got some of his weapon integrity back. Oh my goodness. Yet, yeah. I still have a minute left to gameplay here, so. There we go. No double perfect for you, Skip. Yo. Thank you. Yep. That was close.
The grueling battle ended with the victory of Cervantes. You lose.
I lose.
Offer your spirit.
Ah, well, came pretty close.
Will you
Came
challenge
pretty damn
the enemy
close.
Again?
I'm afraid not. Alas, we have met our end. 5, 4. No! Yep. May he rest in peace.
The legend will never die.
That's right. Don't let him get the close. It's a little too late there, Ben. appreciate the heads up there. Oh, so close. We did pretty good though. We did pretty good. Alrighty. Well, that's it. That's games of Tekken. And of course, we had a little bit of a cousin there with Soul. There we go. There's a buzzer. Had a bit of a cousin there with Soul Edge, Soul Blade, whatever you want to call it. But nevertheless, it was a lot of fun to play. And that was the beauty of these games. You know, playing in the arcades is a great get-together. You get to meet some new people, and you get to show off your skills. In my case, I just get to meet new people. Really? Really? If you like what you saw that's no longer on the screen, mind giving me a follow. Greatly would appreciate it. There's a YouTube page of my past streams that are no longer found here on Twitch. There's an Instagram page of the various video game related things I've been collecting over the last 48 years of video gaming. There's Twitter out there. It tells you when I'm doing something stupid, you know, this. And there's Discord, and there's a London link last down there as well. And that's it. And if you also like the art that you previously saw that's not on the screen right now because London Lads just had to do a baby shark. Billy Jackson did all that. That would be Billy Graphics Sports, twitter.com/Billy Graphics, and some jackass music. And I'm not going to even start up the engine anymore. We're done. Y'all have a great weekend. London Last and I have some work to do. You all take care. Nerdad, have a great vacation. Enjoy Florida. Enjoy Disney World. And we'll see you all next time. Bye. Said bye. Go away. Stop streaming. Go. Okay, we're still here. Did the controls break down too? Oh my goodness. Bye.